Welcome to Freganomics Part 6, Liquidity. Liquidity is simply the flow in cash flow, and without it there is stagnation. By now we've understood that Frega-issued crypto tokens are an appreciating asset because they receive a daily growing dividend, which is paid for by Frega out of its growing underpin fund from an increasing number of secure, expanding and indefinite passive incomes. So these tokens are more assured and predictable in nature than any stocks or shares. But what if you want to sell some or all of your tokens for cash on Frega's exchange? Well, of course you can, and that relies on there being buyers available to sell to. This ability to buy and sell freely is another way of describing liquidity. As already explained in the previous videos, much of this liquidity is taken care of by Frega members all around the world snapping up tokens as they come onto the market because they understand the dividend payments and how they create a capital growth in the value of the tokens. But it's not just private individuals who have an eye on Frega's exchanges. Professional investors and even fund managers also want their share, and here's why. As an example, let's take £100,000 worth of tokens released via Invest Plus to a whole array of customers, and let's assume that 80% of them immediately claim their tokens and want to exchange what is unlocked for cash, which is 1/12 or 8.3% in the first month. Surprisingly, this is just £6,664 of that original £100,000. Of course, the same amount is unlocked each month, but as you can see, this time release is crucial for the indefinite sustainability of the mathematics. Now, if for a moment you ignore the fund managers, investors and Frega members that are actively looking to hoover up these tokens, we discover another unique layer of certainty programmatically built into Frega, and that is the certainty of investment in tokens. If you look at your passive income, you will notice that 10% of it goes to your crypto trading account, and this proportion is to be used solely for the purchase of tokens. And if, as recommended, you use the free application Auto Manage, it will programmatically buy you tokens with the highest yield on your behalf. Not only that, but members can choose to invest anywhere up to 100% of their passive income in tokens via Auto Manage if they choose. Of course, not everyone gets fully engaged in Frega, and there are accounts which are set up as a result of accepting a purchase order or buying tickets, for example, that accrue a daily passive income and are never claimed. And as explained in the terms and conditions, income left fallow for more than a certain amount of time is automatically invested in the highest yielding tokens on behalf of that inactive member. This not only increases liquidity in the market, it also grows the value of the member's passive income as much as possible, even in their absence. But the liquidity insurance doesn't stop there. There are other funds too, such as 60% of ledger fees from all the international transactions, and even a separate entity called the Frega Foundation that co-invests in application partnerships and buys up tokens, which it then holds onto and doesn't release back onto the market. This process of withdrawing a proportion of the tokens increases scarcity, drives the value of the remaining tokens up, and is referred to as burning crypto tokens. But there is also something that happens on the flip side of the equation, and that is that new recipients of tokens from Invest Plus, Purchase Plus and Equity Release, who test the water and sell their allocation in month 1, suddenly understand what they are holding as they receive their dividend payments and watch the value of their tokens go up. So on month 2, only half the number of tokens are offered for sale, and pretty soon many of these new Frega members convert from sellers to holders and buyers of tokens, so scarcity ramps up another notch. And with paced release of tokens onto the market, 10% of the passive income, ledger fees, the Frega Foundation and investors all chasing the remaining pool of tokens, a highly competitive and thriving exchange with plenty of liquidity is ensured. Now that you've been introduced to every aspect of Freganomics, from its global nature and the programmatic certainty of passive incomes to the underpin funds, the dividends, the token values and liquidity, you can see the sustainability of the model for yourself. By employing a combination of actuarial mathematics and the Web 3.0 thinking that allows us to see all the revenues as a whole, Frega simply removes the obstacles and bottlenecks in finance and enables a redistribution of the wealth that is already there but is unable to circulate because it is stuck in the outdated and linear slave and master relationship. So by providing every one of its members part ownership of all the applications and services currently monopolized by the corporate giants, Frega has found a way of taking us from Finance 2.0, the economics of scarcity, to Finance 3.0, the Freganomics of abundance. Welcome to the new sustainable financial solution. Thank you.